Humans. Brian's face tightened in annoyance as he slammed the door to his pickup. He had to check for damage to the car parked entirely too close to the spot he paid for. For a machine the size of a shoebox, it amazed him the vehicle didn't fit in the space with room for a summer home. It proved to be another setback he couldn't afford. He wasted hours at an interrogation table before his uninvited guest convinced the local civil servants he hadn't used her head as a battering ram. The blasted woman took forever to acknowledge she needed medical assistance. Brian accepted his day had no hope of repair. The tight schedule he adhered to couldn't be salvaged, even if he somehow managed to be in 3 places at once. A green streak of paint, which matched that of his truck, marred the little red sports car. Now he would have to find its owner and exchange insurance information, when all he really wanted to do was swim and release the pent-up stress of having his life interrupted by chaos. After getting the license plate number, Brian Samuel Brinkley gave in and admitted that he had no hope of recovering the day. Brian stomped away from the parking garage with his gym bag at his side. The blast of cold air assaulted his being as he walked through the door of the health club. He stopped at the front desk to find out who he needed to talk to about the vehicle incident.
One moment, please.
Never let it be said that God didn't have a sense of humor. If he managed to do anything for the rest of the day, without waiting, the gesture would be an oversight rather than luck. He wondered how many years in purgatory he'd get if flipped a bird to the ceiling.
Can I help you?
The receptionist asked after a few moments. I hit a car with my door, and I want to report the accident to the owner. He gave her the license plate number.
Miss Madison DeWalt?
The receptionist leaned forward, closer to him.
Of the DeWalt Industry DeWalts. I don't think she'd worry about having to get it repaired, if you chose not to tell her.
Brian lacked the ability to do anything more than gape at the woman. He couldn't believe she would conspire with him to make someone else pay for his inability to turn a vehicle. He was both outraged and oddly flattered by the look in her eyes. I appreciate the heads up, but the Boy Scout in me wouldn't be able to live with it. He flashed a grin that sent most human women in a flutter of soft sighs and coy smiles. She proved no different.
She's probably still at the pool. Would you like to go out for coffee with me after you've cleared up this little mishap?
The receptionist preened a bit. Too much charm. A beautiful woman such as yourself should do far better than the likes of me, Brian said.
Besides, there's a gentleman on the other side of the room who hasn't taken his eyes off you since the moment I walked in.
A blush turned her cheeks a pretty shade of pink, and she glanced at the man Brian referred to. Humans could always be counted on to respond to an appeal of their vanity. He used that opportunity to escape down the long corridor leading to the aquatics department. With a quick jaunt through the changing room, he emerged into the pool area. No sense in wasting time by waiting. The humid air tasted and smelled of chlorine and chemicals. A bead of sweat formed across his forehead from the intense humidity. His body temperature ran a few degrees higher than its usual occupants. He scanned the surface and found her with ease as the only person in the room. With no effort wasted, she cut through the water and propelled forward with precision and speed. She swam freestyle with a flip as she reached the concrete barrier, in the exact way he'd rather be spending his time. Instead, he walked to the shallow end and knelt at the poolside. He stuck his hand in the lukewarm liquid and waved it, so she'd notice him as she swam in his direction. She rose out of the water's surface like a goddess that beckoned for the mere mortals to bow before her. Brian found himself captivated by the pint-sized vision in lycra and spandex. She pushed the goggles up over her eyes and rested them at the crest of her forehead, with 2 fingers whipped the beaded moisture from her face and stared at him as she caught her breath.
Am I in your lane or something?
She asked. No. Are you Madison DeWalt?
Depends on who's asking.
The man who put a dent in a little red car door. Her mouth fell open at the blunt way he delivered his message. Brian found it amusing and wished to think of something else random to elicit a similar reaction. She blinked 3 times before she spoke again.
Well, I think I preferred it when I thought I was in your lane.
There is an insurance card on file. I've already made the front desk aware of the incident. She cocked her head to the side and looked at him.
I have a better idea. You take me home, and we'll be square.
I only dented the door. I'm certain you can still drive it.
I shouldn't have driven myself today. Nor should have I attempted to swim with a concussion. I'm afraid something might happen if I do anything that reckless again.
Concussion? Ah, sure, he replied. If you don't mind me asking, what happened?
It's nothing time won't heal. I just don't trust myself to drive. I believe I got here on a wing and a prayer.
If she knew she'd said those words to a disgraced guardian angel, she'd see the irony as much as he did. He noticed she hadn't answered his question. Though he didn't want to rescue yet another damsel in distress, he couldn't deny the woman a ride after he hit her car. He nodded once more to affirm he'd drive her.
I'll be quick. I promise.
She smiled. He glanced down at the pool, his shoulders sagged, and he sighed. This time, Brian didn't even question purgatory. He waited until Madison walked out of sight and stuck his middle finger at the heavens. True to her word, she only took a moment to return to his side. She got ready faster than any creature he'd ever seen. She looked cuter wet, but wasn't half bad dry. Together they walked back out to the parking lot. Her startled gasp took his mind off the pretty package she presented and to the sight in front of them. The red sports car, which moments before only had a dent in it when he walked into the health club, now had massive dents, broken windows, and 4 slashed tires.
What did you hit it with? A baseball bat?
She asked in shock. I swear to you, I didn't do that. He stepped between her and the car and walked around it, to make sure whoever had done such extensive damage no longer lurked nearby. The small trunk of the vehicle bore a message dug into the metallic paint. I saw you through her eyes. It amazed him a sentence fit on the tiny available space that covered the trunk of the car. Someone set out to send a powerful message. By the bloodless face and pursed lips Madison sported, the cryptic words hit their mark. Shall we go back in and call the police? Brian asked to fill the silence.
Just take me home. It'll get taken care of.
She replied, her voice barely above a whisper. You are a strange woman, Madison DeWalt. You drive and swim with a concussion. Then, when someone beats your car to a pulp, you don't contact the authorities, he stated. The expression on her face let him know not only was his attempt to lighten the mood unappreciated, but she didn't give a flying frog what he thought of her. His day officially sucked.